why don't we go ahead and we'll get started. It's 10:33. Let's go ahead and get started. Everybody, people that don't know Russell and has was brought in by Amir. Used to work at Keller Williams. Is that right, Russell?
That was my first stop.
Okay.
I'm a Keller Williams.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah. We a lot of us ex Keller Williams people here. I came
yep,
from
yep.
Keller Williams before I joined Amir. And Russell brought over the USA Home Bid platform. And he and I know you and Amir are working on it together, but you're kind of the guy that spearheaded this whole thing. So I'd like for you to share, because this is our role playing meeting. I'd like for you to share, just some ideas and some of the things that you do to attract attention when you're talking to people. Sometimes I know that you work with FSBOs. I know that expired leads, and I've used some of these as well. So maybe you can share what some of your knowledge and some of the things that you're doing.
Yeah, for sure. So if you try to take USA Home Bids away from me now, I would cry. It's about 50% of my listings are home bids. I loved it so much over the last handful of years that I actually bought the company with
Nice.
Amir and one other gentleman. So we now own 90% of that company. We're actually doing a live demo next week for EXP. So we're hoping to be a preferred partner with EXP in about a month. So get in now, before that relationship happens. Trust me, it's better to get in now if you haven't already been a part of it. What I think it's a killer for and super easy is for sale by owners, cancels, and expired. So if you are somebody that's struggling to get business at all, for sale by owners are free, right? You can get those from Zillow. Cancels and expireds we get from Land Voice. If you've never used Land Voice, it's actually a very good, inexpensive way to get cancels and expireds. When I do my listing presentations now, I give my full marketing. I'm a people person, so I know everybody's listing presentation is different. So I talk about my entire team, from the lady that does our website to I have a couple different VAs that do different things. My in-house TC, my in-house assistant, and I walk through all the people and I explain to them that they're getting this amazing marketing and transactional team that's going to make everything go extremely smooth. We show them that we capture almost 5% above market value with our marketing, and then when I get to the close, I offer them three things. I offer to buy their house cash. I say I can sell your house just like your mom and dad used to do. We pick a price, right? Or I offer the USA Home Bids platform, which is a different way to sell a home. And I show them how we leverage the bidding or auction mentality to drive the price of their home. There's no better closing argument than Google. Any of you that have doctor or attorney friends, you know for a fact they hate Google because people go home, they get their information from their doctor or their attorney, and they Google it, and they automatically know more than their doctor or their attorney because Google told them so, right? So what's cool on that is if you put into Google bidding or auction mentality, it essentially tells you you're going to make more money if you go this route. So when I'm in the middle of my present or the end of my presentation, if they start asking questions, I just say, hey, look, this is what it is, right? We use human psychology to drive up the price of your house. Would you enjoy a bidding war on your house? Would that be great? And so it works. When it comes to for sale by owners, cancels, and expireds, I use two different scripts. For sale by owners, any of you that haven't been on my call, I do a free call where I land listing appointments for you. I have so many listings, trust me, I don't need anymore. However, if I ever get slow, I jump on Zillow. I grab all of the free information off of Zillow on all the for sale by owners in my market. I start calling those folks. And by the end of the week, I promise you, I have two new listings. Whenever I've needed to do it, I just go call every single for sale by owner. I pitch them with the home bids pitch, and I have a couple new listings. If that doesn't work, which it almost always does. I haven't called cancels and expireds in like 2 years, except for in classes. I then go over to my canceled and expireds list, and that script is a little bit different. The script I use for sale by owners is just trying to get my foot in the door. So I call up and I say, hey, this is Russell. I'm a real estate agent. I'm calling on 123 Main Street. Is that still available? And if they say yes, I immediately go, great. Are you open to paying a buyer's agent if I was to bring you a buyer? Can I come preview it today? The only major objection that you may have to overcome is every once in a while they'll ask you, hey, are you going to bring your client with you? And I would just say, hey, Nick, with all due respect, I used to do that and I would lose clients, right? So what I do now is I always preview for sale by owners before I go see them, because not every time, does a for sale by owner actually look like it's supposed to. Whereas on MLS, right, we have a lot of reporting requirements as agents. And so I'm very confident that when I take them to a property that's listed in MLS, all the information is correct. And again, Nick, I'm not saying that you're a dishonest person. I just lost clients if I didn't preview it first. So I hope you can appreciate that. And they say, yeah, no problem. Come see the property. Like that's the one objection that you have to overcome. When I do canceleds or expireds, I just ask them if they're open to a full price offer on their property still today. Right. So if they went canceled yesterday, I'll just say, hey, Nick, it's Russell. I saw that you went canceled and expired yesterday. I just picked up a new client. Would you be open to a full price offer on your home? And if they say yes, great. When can I come preview it? Again, the initial goal is to get your foot in the door.
Mhm.
On for sale by owners, once I get there, you have two goals, right, on that preview. Goal number one is people list with someone they know, like, and trust, or someone that was referred to them that they know, like, and trust. So before you finish that tour, you better be friends with them, right? If you have not connected on something outside of real estate where you can be friends with that person and you have a genuine connection, you have done yourself a disservice, because that's who they're going to hire. That's number one. Number two, you want to be a local area expert. That's the second person that somebody hires. They either hire somebody they know, love, and trust. And if they can't find somebody like that, they go look for a local area expert. So your goal is to be both of those by the end of the for sale by owner tour. And then my pitch goes something like this. I know we're going to role play in a minute, but I would just say, hey, Nick, oh my gosh, your house show is amazing. My clients were actually looking for a little more RV space, so it's not a good fit for my clients. However, this house shows so much better in person than it did online. Did you take those pictures with your cell phone? Any of you that have called on for sale by owners know that 90+% of them have taken those pictures with a cell phone. I know the answer before I ask her, and I won't ask it. I'll go a different approach if they actually have pro pictures. Trust me, that is 1 out of 10. And Nick will say yes. I said, Nick, man, I feel like we connected. Man, I know this area really well. Let me make a proposition for you. It's a no risk proposition for half the normal commission, right? You agreed you would already be willing to pay me if I brought you a buyer. So here's what I'm going to pitch to you. Give me a 13-day exclusive to sell this house. I'm going to provide for you professional pictures and videos. I'm going to market the living daylights out of it. I'm going to guarantee you multiple offers. And at the end of the 13 days, if you don't love the offers that I bring you, you can fire me, keep my marketing package, and go back on the market for sale by owner. How does that sound? It's an offer they can't refuse, right? I mean, there's no risk. There's zero risk. And then if they say, hey, what's the catch? Hey, I use a bidding platform where I actually going to create a bidding war on your property. That's how I'm so confident that we're going to get you a price that you love, right? That's it. When I go to a canceled or expired, it's a little different script, right? Because they just had a bad experience with a real estate agent. It's never their fault, right? It's always the real estate agent's fault. So after I'm done touring, I was like, man, this house shows really well. Usually it's one of three things that causes a house not to sell. It wasn't priced correctly, it didn't show well, or it wasn't marketed right. Which of the three do you think it was? I always say marketed right at the end, because if you say marketed right, whose fault was it? The real estate agents, right? They don't want to say their house is bad. They don't want to say their house is priced incorrectly. They want to say that darn agent could have done better. It is a perfect segue. Wow, I actually have the right solution, right? Again, this property doesn't fit my client because, they were looking for a larger master bedroom. I thought it was a little bigger based on the pictures. However, I have the coolest marketing platform on the market. It is the hottest thing going right now. We are going to get hundreds of people through your property. And with that type of marketing, we will sell as long as it shows right and it's priced right. Wouldn't you agree? So those are the two ways that I use USA Home Bids outside of my normal listing presentation. I'm more than happy to, role play with whoever would like. You can be tough on me. I've had tough before. My favorite, by the way, if you've ever been on my for sale by owner calls, the ones that I pick up and they're like, I hate real estate agents. I almost always land that appointment, right? Because those are a challenge. Those are a little more fun.
Yeah, a common for sale by owners, because I've called them, we all have, is, oh yeah, no problem, bring me a buyer. And I think you touched on that. And you said, well, I would, but I've lost clients that way. I love that line, by the way.
Yeah, I have 14, 15 buyer clients right now. I think your house fits two of them, right? First of all, I'm not going to bring both of them over at the same time. Secondly, I'm telling you, I've lost clients because sometimes houses don't show in person like they do when they're for sale by owners. Whereas on MLS, right, we have a very consistent reporting requirement, right? So I'm very confident when I take them out on an MLS tour, what we are seeing is what we're getting. And I always preview FSBOs first. I can sell your property. Let me come take a peek at it.
Right, right. I like that. I like that.
But I saw Nolan had a question, or maybe I answered it
Yes,
already.
Nolan, put your hand up. Nolan, you
Yeah,
have a
you
question?
actually answered it. And this is recorded, right? So we're gonna get this at the end.
Everyone except you.
Yeah, sorry,
Perfect.
Nolan.
No, thank you, Russell. Really appreciate you answering that. Thank you.
Yeah, no worries. I know that was a
Amir,
lot of information in a short period of time, but I mean, that's it. I mean, there's no magic formula to it, other than the fact that now I've done a ton of them. If you guys want, you can use 3437 Muscat. I just did that one. I just did a video on it. I'll probably post that video today on all my social media channels. The two model matches, exact model matches, 2,507 square feet, exact model matches sold for 776. We closed at 834.5, $58,500 above. Now that's a little bit out of the ordinary. We're normally 4 to 5% above if you follow our system. And that's just as important, right? You guys can land these listings, but if you don't follow our system and think you can do it better your very first time, please don't do that. The system's set up this way for a reason. And if you haven't been in the class before, please come watch the class, especially the Keys to Success video, all the do's and don'ts. Those are extremely important. But yeah, that's 58,500. I did another one. So for those of you that don't know, I'm an REO guy. I do a lot of bank-owned properties. The banks love these platforms. I have one bank that's used the platform so many times, they are now undercutting me. So what I highly recommend is whatever the value of the home is, you do about half. So on that one, even though the model matches were at 776, I told Tilly, this really nice older lady who was moving into a very light assisted care situation that needed as much money as she could from the home. I said, Tilly, I feel really comfortable that I'm going to break that 776 and we're going to get closer to 800. So we started at 399. We did 834.5. So she was extremely happy. The reason I tell that story and then come back to the bank is the bank and I have been doing business for a while. We agreed that a property they were selling in Oakland that was, going on the home bids platform. We agreed that we would be thumbs up if we can get 1.8 million. And I told the bank, okay, cool. Then let's start, around 900,000, maybe 899. They're like, nope, we've used this platform so many times that you can't go too low. Started at 499. So we started at 499 and we ended up closing that deal at 2 million. Right. So we got a couple extra 100,000, was absolutely amazing. And you can't go too low. As a matter of fact, when I first posted it, the big joke was, hey, 499, you're missing a zero, right? Isn't that 4.9 million? But no, it worked amazing. We signed 18 buyer agreements that weekend. I was actually assisting a new agent in Oakland for one of my friends, Ryan, on his team. And I used the strategy that we do with the off market. We ask every client, and then at the end, we either get them to sign an agency agreement for just that property or for the entire county for 90 days, right? We use that alternative sell strategy at the end. We signed 18 buyer agreements, 6 of them for the entire county, 12 for that property.
Wow. Russell.
Yeah, so the key is actually like Russell said.
Amir.
Hey, Amir.
Yeah, the key is actually you cannot list too low, right? So that some of the agents made mistake. House is worth $1 million and they list 500 is too low. Nobody will come. So let's list a 7. And if you're listing too high, 799 is too high because it's lower than the average, but it's not too low. Then some people will think, hey, maybe something's wrong with the house versus listing at 499, 500,000. Everybody, absolutely everybody who is in the neighborhood in that zip code will come to see your house, and that's what you want. You want traffic.
Yeah,
Right?
I'll give you another one. We had this older gentleman, and when I say older, like 90s, in the Reno market. And when we called him, he's like, I don't want to talk to real estate agents, right? We're like, okay, like, well, we're investors too. We buy houses sometimes. Can we come look at it? He said, sure. So we went and looked at the property, and he still liked us at the end, right? So we became his friend. He could tell we were not goofballs, that we actually knew what we were talking about. And we said, hey, what if we could essentially do it for free? right? Here's how the platform works. We'll charge a 5% premium on the platform and you pay 0. He's like, well, that I'm open to, right? Because I don't have to pay a real estate agent a penny. And we became such good friends with him. By the time we actually put it on the market, he was willing to pay us 2% because he understood that he was going to do better. We are now the second highest price in that market, and we're not even close. The highest price in that market was a completely rehab property that was amazing, and this one was not. So we probably made that guy an extra 40, 45 grand through the platform. He was ecstatic. He was more than happy to pay the 2%, once we got down to the end. But don't be discouraged. I mean, some people don't know what they're saying no to, right? Once they understand the entirety of the platform, or you as a real estate agent, what you have to offer, they'll be blown away. I'm doing a script today, by the way, on for sale by owners. In 2024, if I remember correctly, and I'll have to go back and look at my script, but the average for sale by an owner sold for 380. The average home with an agent sold for 435, $55,000 swing. The other thing that I can tell you is nearly half of the people that sell by owner cry during the process. There's a 47% cry rate. So if you're going to list your property yourself, I'm serious, it's a real statistic that they are brought to tears within the process. At least 47% of the folks trying to sell cry during the process. They need us. You're going to squeeze more money out of that person that's on the buy side. Not only that, you're going to keep them safe from a disclosure perspective, right? And you know how to negotiate all the little stuff. Most of them don't know there's 3 big hurdles, right? The appraisal, the loan, and the inspection contingencies. So the one thing that I do, by the way, if you guys are going to try to do this and you can't close that client right after that pitch that I just gave, that was amazing, and they say, you know what, I'm still just going to try to sell it for sale by owner. Here's my last kicker, because it just shows that you care about them and their need for an agent. And I'll say, hey, Nick, no, I get it. You still want to sell it on your own. This no risk guarantee where you're going to get multiple offers, and I know you're going to be happy and you're going to get this amazing marketing package, for some reason doesn't appeal to you. But Nick, I really do like you. So let's do this. As a common courtesy, what I'll do for you as a real estate professional is I'll go ahead and review your seller property questionnaire and your transfer disclosure statement. Go ahead and give me those 2 disclosures. I'll take a peek at them and make sure they look good. Guess what? They don't have them. Right? They absolutely don't have them. I have never, not one time. And by the way, I close like 4 out of 5. So like that 5th time, never, ever, ever, ever do they have them. And I say, I'll tell you what, Nick, like, I don't want to see you get sued for non-disclosure the moment you close. And trust me, those people are out there. As soon as I get back to the office, I'm going to email you a set of blank disclosures. That is the minimum requirement in the state of California, is the transfer disclosure statement and the seller property questionnaire. So you need to have those 2 at a minimum. So when I get to the office, I'm going to go ahead and send those over to you in blank form. What's your email? And here's what happens, by the way. You just are giving, right? So usually by the time you get back to the office, they've agreed to list with you. And if you don't, you send them a clear blank TDS and SPQ, make sure your name's not at the bottom. And you know what? You've added value. And if they, are going to hire a real estate agent, I would think it would be you.
And you can see now what Russ is doing. So the marketing changed today versus 30 years ago. Before it was a push marketing. Now it's pull marketing, meaning providing value, and again, providing the value. So, and people coming back to you because you're the one who provided the value. Before was a push marketing saying, hey, I'm the best realtor in town. I'm not most qualified. Call me, hire me. Now is, hey, I'm gonna give you follow my YouTube channel for these tools. Follow this Instagram channel, this and this. I'm gonna give you tips, and I'm gonna give you free disclosures. I'm gonna give you tips how to sell the house, how to buy a house, and boom, 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 and then people coming to you because you're the one who is pulling them in with your pull marketing. If that makes sense.
Yeah, I totally agree. And those of you who don't follow me on any social media, like there's 60 new real estate laws in California this year. 60. I've covered what I think are the most important ones. Everything that you know that you can add value for a client is important. Does anybody know, anybody watch me? What did the probate change happen this year? Anybody know the probate change? You think it would be important to know a probate change if you help anybody in probate?
I just seen your video yesterday, actually, about
Come on, Michael, what do you got?
They can do it within 40 days now or after 40 days?
After 40 days. And what's the new dollar amount versus the old dollar amount?
I think it's shit, man. I just seen the video yesterday. Was it 250?
It used to be 184.5. If your property was worth more than 184.5, you had to go through probate. Now it's $750,000.
That's right. Yeah.
It's awesome. What a great change for families, right? Whose loved one who owned their primary residence didn't do a good job with a trust, right? Now, after 40 days, if the property's worth 750 or less, the beneficiary can claim ownership and sell the property. They don't have to go through the probate process. How cool is that?
Wow.
That's just one of the gazillions. How about this one? And I know that we're probably on the same thing, right? We're on a role-playing class. Do you guys know the new, and it's either Senate bill or Assembly bill, and I apologize, but it's 2424. I think it's SB 2424. Did you watch that one that I did? If you're not using that one, you guys are crazy.
Yes, the letters are in the mail.
Thank you, Patrick. Right? How cool is that one?
Yeah.
But explain that one, Russ.
Let's keep something for next time, because I think we need to get a role play because Russell is an expert in pre-foreclosures and foreclosed properties. But it would be a good thing to have one class how he's reaching out to pre-foreclosures people that actually in distress. And keep in mind, so to get a good clients, buyers, and sellers, you need to reach them in the life-changing events. When a life-changing event happens, which is losing house, or maybe they got a new baby, or somebody passed away, so now they have to go to probate. Something happened in their lives, right? Or divorce, right? So they got divorced, or they're getting married, right? So something's happening. So now, obviously, losing the house is one of the most stressful events in everybody's life. And then Russell has a good system and scripts and process to help people to go through this process. And I think it would be good one of the next Tuesdays because we keep these meetings in 30 minutes only to respect of everybody's time to invite Russell again to talk about how he goes after pre-foreclosures and distressed properties. And I think that would be very helpful for everybody else, and we recording these calls for people can watch later as well.
Hey, and I've been working on my coaching since March of last year, and I mirrored it to a white label, and I'll be launching it this Friday. I'm going to charge $7,500 for coaching. However, anybody at EXP, we're doing it for a ridiculous amount. I think it's $499 for my team. And then you have to cover the hard costs, right? Because I make you buy a couple things. If you guys don't see me on social media, then you're not on TikTok or Instagram or Facebook or YouTube or LinkedIn or whatever, because I'm there every single day almost. And it all happens through one simple app. We teach you that. I teach you the 4 keys to making sure that you're making 6 figures or more. And what I ask for my EXP agents is to give me a 5-star review on my coaching for the $499 price. So, and I'm not trying to sell my coaching, but if you guys want to text me or whatever, I'll get you into the pipeline. It won't be done until probably the end of next week. But we'll get you in there. So I put my number in the chat box if you're interested.
Thank you.
Very good. I know we need to wrap it up. Russ, just a couple of, as Tom Daves would say, aha moments that I picked up, that I wrote down. I like that you talk about your team when you finally go over there. You talk about the team. You give them 3 options. You say, hey, we can buy your home, or we can sell your home conventionally the way your mom and dad did. Or, we have this new platform, this bidding service that we can talk to you about. I like that. A lot of it is, like you said, human psychology, and how you use that against them. Because I've run into people that for sale by owners, yeah, well, bring me a buyer. And I like the way you handled that. So I really appreciate it. We have to wrap it up soon. Any other questions that anyone has that's just burning, they got to get out there? Nobody? Okay. I've recorded this. Reach out to me. I put my email out there. Reach out to me, and I will send you guys a copy of this. Thank you for joining. Russell, thanks again, man. And
appreciate it.
We're going to stay in touch. We have our Wednesday meetings like every other week, and we're going to talk to you about possibly coming in again and covering this in a little more detail.
Cool.
Your channels. Let's talk about your social media channel. I've seen you on TikTok. Are you also on Instagram?
I'm on Instagram. I think it's like Enyart or real estate. I don't know. Hold on, I'll tell you what I am. I should know them off the top of my head, right? My team's trying to make them a little more consistent. On Instagram, I am. What the hell am I on Instagram?
Oh,
you know
Russell's
what?
looking.
I'm USA Home Bids on Instagram.
Okay, okay. And you touch about some of these laws and some of the rules that come up. You do little videos on that.
I actually try to hit everybody. It's actually in our real estate group on Instagram. Not grew up, but group. I spelled it wrong. But that's who I am on or Enyart Homes. I don't know which one it is. It's one of those two.
Enyart Homes.
Enyart Homes, thanks. Yeah, but I do Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, and one more. I do a sixth. I don't know what this. Twitter.
Twitter. Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah. And then I just wanted to invite everybody to our meetings Mondays 10 to 11. We have a good group of people. So the key is actually to keep us accountable. That's the only way how we can progress and build a successful real estate business. As a matter of fact, any business, but you have to have a plan and goal in place in order and exercise those goals. And purpose of these Mondays meetings is to help everybody to exercise those goals.
Yep. Fantastic. Okay, everybody, thank you for joining. Reach out to me and I'll get you a recording of this thing. I think it was fantastic. Thank you again, Russell. Thank you, Amir. We will see you guys next week.
Thanks, Russ.
Yeah, you're welcome. Have a great week, everybody.
All right, you too.
Thanks, everybody.
Make it productive.